Black women, especially Black women who have Black male children, live in fear and agony every single day. A fear and agony that I promise you, the Metcalfs probably never spent a day living that way.
You do realize that the white kid was killed. And let's just be real when it comes to this fear that a black mother has. That black mother doesn't have a fear of a white kid killing their black son. If we're being real, if we're gonna be real, that black mother that Jasmine Crockett is talking about, that has a fear for her black child, that has nothing to do with an Austin Metcalf. That has to do with another Carmelo Anthony. That has to do with the fear that another black kid is gonna take that kid's life.
As a gangbanger, right, when you go on a mission, you might, when you looking for your so-called enemy, you driving through a different hood, down the street. You know, it's an invisible line. You cross this street, now you in another hood. And you hunting. And when you looking, you gonna pass up the dude that's dressed square, right? You gonna pass up a dude from a different race. When you see somebody that's dressed like you dress, and got the walk like you got, and got the body language like you gonna say, there you go, get him. And that's deep.
Whew.
You know what I'm saying? When you really unpack that.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? You looking for yourself just on the other side of town. And you gonna hop out and attack him and try to down him in a real way. And being caught up in gangbanging culture, you don't think that deep. You just think of, these niggas came through and shot the hood up. We about to go back through there and return the favor. But as you really mature, as I matured and you know, became exposed to other opportunities and embraced them, had to be honest with myself. I start being honest and thinking about it like, damn, you know, just the selection process, the way that you select who your target is going to be, that's something to think about.
We get manipulated into hating each other. You got the Jasmine Crockett's of the world. Jasmine Crockett running around talking about, oh, white people don't know what it's like to have to be in a black mother's position, to fear for your life, and then, you know, all this, especially if you got a black baby. Jasmine Crockett, to my understanding, you don't have any kids. Also, to my understanding, you didn't grow up in that type of life. You grew up in a very privileged background, and I can't stand somebody else who grew up in a very privileged background, me. I can't stand when people try to appeal to what they believe, and it's really an insult to black people's intelligence, but try to appeal to black people by lowering your IQ, talking in a way that you think niggas communicate, whatever it is that you're doing. Rather than appreciating the privilege that you have and understanding that if you do believe that you gotta lower your IQ, lower whatever it is that you're doing, nah, keep that up. Let people, like, show people to come up to you, rather than you feeling like you gotta be ghetto or a little booger in order to appeal to people. Like, I think that most black people see through that. To me, it's like the aunties, the older, maybe the boomers and a little bit under the boomers, who think that Jasmine Crockett shit is cute. You may be an auntie who, you know, you frustrated with life and pissed off, and you just angry at whatever, so now you like how Jasmine Crockett moving. And I've spoken to these type of women. But Jasmine Crockett talking about, oh yeah, you don't know what it's like for a black mother who has a black kid to live in constant fear. Like, you do realize that the white kid was killed. And let's just be real when it comes to this fear that a black mother has. That black mother doesn't have a fear of a white kid killing their black son. If we're being real, if we're gonna be real, that black mother that Jasmine Crockett is talking about, that has a fear for her black child, that has nothing to do with an Austin Metcalf. That has to do with another Carmelo Anthony. That has to do with the fear that another black kid is gonna take that kid's life. We gotta stop playing these games, and this is why nothing ever gets solved. This is why we can't ever fix a lot of the community issues with the black on black stuff, because that's more of a problem than the whatever else they trying to portray. They just always highlight those situations because it makes Black Lives Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Money, makes Black Lives Matter more money, and it allows the Democrats to rage bait you into supporting them, so they never have to actually do anything for your black ass, our black ass, right? Now, here you have, if we're being real, didn't Jesse Jackson bring this up a while ago? Remember Jesse Jackson? He was talking about how when he's walking down the street or at an ATM, I think he's walking down the street late at night and he sees somebody walking towards him with a hood, he's relieved when it's a white guy and not a black guy. Isn't that what Jesse Jackson said? And if I'm just being real, I feel more threatened. I'm more on guard if I'm walking through the Bronx than if I'm walking through Livingston or a white town in Jersey. I'm more on guard when I'm walking through Newark, Irvington. If I'm being real, if we're being real, your guard is up more walking around those areas, Mount Vernon, East Orange. You more on guard walking around then than I am walking around, you name the neighborhood. Terrytown. What do you want me to, like, if we're just being real? But see, we don't want to address those issues because it's like a lot of other things. We'd rather place blame than hold ourselves accountable. We'd rather live through this entitled mindset and victimhood that we're entitled to something, that we're owed something, rather than just realizing like, yo, everything that we're asking for, we could have 100 times that if we just decided to just be accountable and just take ownership of the things that are within our control and move accordingly. But we don't want to do that. And it causes a whole lot of other issues. This is why you get a town like Montclair that I grew up in, and you see a lot of black people moving out, a lot of gentrification happening, a lot of development. That should be a goal, right? The problem is we don't own anything, so we can't take advantage of all the value going up. So the answer that a lot of people have when it comes to black people, and you see black people leaving the town, is to just, stop developing. Stop developing. How about let's figure out a way to have some ownership so we can take advantage of the development? Let's figure out a way to get some more trades in, figure out how we could turn those trades into businesses, have more businesses producing money, right? Figure out how we can own more homes, controlling our own businesses, right? And I'm talking about everybody. Y'all know I'm not, look, to each their own. That's another thing that, I'm gonna do another video on that. Because in my opinion, a lot of black politicians, they may have good intent. But there's no solid plan. The plan can't be to eliminate any growth, to make things not grow so black people can fit in. It should be for black people to be able to take advantage of the growth. But sometimes people would rather things just stay the same if they feel like any change is going to compromise the power and the leverage that they have. They'd rather just things stay the same rather than take a chance or give somebody else the ball to teach certain things that, maybe take a little bit of the power out of their hands, but it's going to help the next generation grow. There's a lot of selfishness going on, a lot of gatekeeping. And we're going to talk about it. I got some, I've been really processing some stuff about where I'm going to take the direction of my life. But just on this particular situation, just wanted to share some thoughts with y'all. Get your thoughts on it. But this is how I'm seeing it. I don't like all the making decisions based on, deciding what narrative I'm going to go about based on the race of that particular person. So, however you feel is how you feel. But can we ever get to a point where we mature a little bit more and get to a point where the goal is to just do better, not look at things just through a critical race theory where we see race through everything first, where we can actually grow and have principles, morals, and values, and let that be the determining factor in who our people is and who is right or wrong in a particular situation, how we're judging a particular situation, just not based on something that's completely out of all of our control, what race we are. So those are the Uncle Tom Chronicles for y'all on this walking. Oh man. Let me get out of here. Let me post this up, man. I've been doing all these walking talks. I don't even post them. I got a few on deck that I need to post, but I'm gonna post this before those ones just because I'm feeling this one right now. So I'll see y'all soon, man. You.